to WISE with the Women in Sport event. We are so grateful to have you all here. I work for Everactive Schools as the Director of Relationships, and I am truly beaming at, fangirling. We dreamed of this event a number of months ago as the conversation continued to grow louder about the importance, the value, the excitement, the fandom around women in sport. Professional sport is blooming with incredible women at the forefront, and there is such a need to continue to create more opportunities for girls to play. And we wanted to bring together a really dynamic room of powerful women in Edmonton, advancing that work in their own spaces, for inspiration, for celebration, for conversation.
As a woman working in sport and recreation, sometimes I feel like I'm on an island. I know I'm not. I know there's women out there, there's all these wonderful people working in this sector, in this field, but you get, especially if my organization's small, you kind of get focused on what you're doing and you feel like you want to connect with people.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for being here and thank you so much for having me.
So the largest group that we work with.
My name's Kendall Barber, and I was just here at the WISE event for Everactive Schools. For me, nothing has given me more in life than sports. When I was a kid growing up, I moved around a lot, and my home was a soccer field, and every time I showed up there, I would meet friends, and it gave me the skills of setting dreams and thinking big and training for things and setback and resiliency. And so when you have the chance to gather together with a group of women who are focused on what can we do for the next generation of girls, to give them access to sport, to help them compete in sport, to help them discover the joy of moving their bodies and hopefully developing into something that they do for life, I can't imagine a better way to spend International Women's Day.
I shifted careers, and I will name that part of my shift in the career was for a family life, because coaching is challenging. And then at the same time, I'm advocating for more women to be in coaching roles with a family. So I'm sitting in a really awkward spot. I think it's just been an amazing morning with powerful people, and I think my direct experience is that sport created all the pathways that I have right now. It's created my job, it's created my social networks and my friendships, and I think we need to continue having these conversations and bringing women together. The most powerful thing that I took from this event was the networking opportunity. You don't get opportunities as a female to sit in rooms with like-minded humans who are trying to, continue to advocate for women in sport and women in these spaces.
With the Indigenous runners, like now I get to run with a whole bunch of incredible women. So there are men, but there's a lot of women. And seeing women like push themselves, and especially as they're getting older, seeing that even as you get older, you can still do absolutely incredible things.
We're gonna create these spaces and give access to young girls and.
Women are important. Women lead the way. They inherit. They are caregivers. They take care. And so, how do we bring that into this space, and how do we create those spaces that that feel welcoming and feel safe? And so part of that was what we talked about on the panel, and it was amazing to hear different perspectives that was presented from the Indigenous community, from folks that are living with disabilities, and all encompassing. It is fantastic to be in a space that is filled with so much optimism, hope, and a goal and drive to better sport and to expand sport.
It was such an honor to be on the panel for Everactive Schools today. This conversation is always so inspiring and so uplifting. It's so powerful to be in a room of so many dominant women in the fields that they're a part of. There were a lot of actionables in what we talked about. Women being in positions of coaching, how to get young girls retained in sport from 10 to 14, but how to engage in sport and physical activity at any age, at any ability, in any capacity. Just girls and women engaging in movement is the ultimate goal. And ultimately girls who participate in sport are girls and women who lead, and that's statistically proven. It was a lot of good discussion, but like the last question was, where do we go from here? And it's just writing checks was like the joke of today. But it's getting in those spaces, not being afraid to have your voice heard, and just encouraging women and young girls in any capacity.
The event exceeded my expectations. I think Katie and the Everactive team did an incredible job. And I really thank the board of directors and Brian Torrance, the executive director, as well as yourself. And I just think it was needed. When I'm in a room like this with women, it's an act of resistance to certain systems that are systemic and don't allow us to participate in this type of work or actually play and participate in sport. So today's not just about the micro and like sport in Edmonton, but it's kind of about the larger issue we have globally.
To each of you in this room who are breaking glass ceilings, paving the way for next generations, and truly making a difference in opportunities for girls and women in sport and physical activity, this work really matters, and you are leading the way. This truly is a wise group of women. We hope you make some new friends on your way out the door. I feel really grateful to be able to do this work alongside Everactive Schools and in partnership with so many that are really advancing the opportunities for girls and women in sport and physical activity.